Welcome back to the Steam Deck Performance Series. This week we've got great results from the Platinum developed action game in the Metal Gear franchise, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. So, what is Metal Gear Rising? It's an action game set in the years following the events of Metal Gear Solid 4. Raiden, now a cyborg ninja, is fighting against other cyborgs that have been appearing due to the events of Metal Gear Solid 4. It's a fast-paced sword-slicing action game that has a large emphasis on blade combat and destructible everything. Now, Platinum games are always beautiful to see in motion, so we're going to want this as close to 60 FPS as possible, and thankfully we can easily do that. Starting with performance, there's very little difference between using SteamOS natively and turning on Proton, so we're mostly just going to be looking at graphical settings. By default, the game will set itself to medium and you'll already be hitting 60 FPS, so I decided to stress test it a bit. When we crank the game up to high settings, the deck can run Revengeance at 60 FPS most of the time, but there will be drops. On SteamOS native, these drops will be in the 50s frequently during combat and down into the mid-40s when you use blade mode to slice and dice everything in front of you. You'll also get these drops when running on Proton, but it won't go down nearly as close to 45 as it does on Linux proper. But we want consistency, so our goal is medium settings, what the game defaults to when you first boot it up on the deck in the first place. With this on, you will always get 60 FPS, no problems, no issues. Proton or SteamOS, it'll lock to 60 and never drop even when fighting the larger and crazier bosses like the Metal Gear units. The only thing about the frame rate here is that cutscenes are hardwired and locked to 30 FPS, and there's not really a way to enhance those. It's not going to cause you issues during gameplay because they're cutscenes, but it is worth noting that you will see a transition to 30 FPS every time a scene starts. Now, you've probably noticed I didn't even try to go into the 30 FPS mode to get better battery life, and there's a reason for that. Metal Gear Rising gets really good battery life right out the gate. Let's dive into it. Running at maximum brightness with the 60 FPS, you can get about 3.5 hours out of Metal Gear Rising. Perhaps this is a hint that some of the older games are better optimized for using the deck's battery. But moving on, dropping the brightness down will increase that to about 4 hours, give or take. That is a pretty nice increase, and it's good to see that the deck is able to maintain Switch-like battery life with some games, even if the bigger, more recent hitters give you less than 2. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So would I recommend this game to Steam Deck users? Of course. You don't need to do anything to optimize it on medium settings and you'll get a flawless 60 FPS in gameplay with it only dropping down to 30 for the story cutscenes. It's unfortunately not still on sale like it was when I bought it a few weeks ago, but definitely keep this on your wish list as it is a treat to play on the go. I'll be back next week with more Steam Deck performance, and as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.